What is one thing you can't live without? Aside from Talia.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Like an actual answer that isn't like phone. Oh, pizza.
Really?
That's how I get these titties. Lots of pizza.
Some pizza? Yeah, right.
No, Chipotle.
What do they sell at Chipotle?
Lots of meat.
Meat?
Yeah. 很多肉.肉.
Meat. And Thai.
菜. 中文 Chipotle 怎么说? Chipotle. Chipotle.
They don't have that there.
They have Chipotle in Taiwan?
No.
They gotta open Chipotle in Taiwan. I'll be the manager.
You guys don't have...
Sun Moon Burger.
Yeah, Moose Burger.
Mouse Burger.
Sun Moon Burger.
What's it called?
What is the most stereotypical question you get?
Where are you from?
Do you like that question?
Where are you from?
I hate that question.
Where are you from? No, where are you from?
What's your accent? What's this?
Where are you from, Christina?
I really don't know. When people ask me that, I don't know what to say.
Say you're from. Just say you're Taiwanese. Say
If
you're
I'm
from
from,
Taiwan.
if I'm,
And then they get followed up with,
so where you from?
be like, I'm American. I grew up in
But
Boston.
you don't look American.
That's quite ignorant of you to say. This is 2022. No, I
But
mean.
do you get people like that?
Yeah, all the time. It's like, no, but like, where are you from? It's mostly older
But
people.
where you from?
People like our age, they don't do that.
Yeah,
they
they
know
don't do
better.
that.
Especially around here.
It's a
like
different generation.
One out of two people, if you ask them, they grew up here. They like born here.
Yeah, basically.
So it's like, why would you even bother asking?
Or like, if you came here when you were 30 something and then you lived here for like 30 plus years.
Yeah, I think I know more ABCs or American-born Asians, ABAs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because ABC doesn't include Korea, Japan.
Right.
So I think I know more ABAs that don't speak any of their native language than the ones that do.
This week's
Hello.
episode is about
I'm Tim.
why don't ABCs know how to speak Chinese?
That's just rude.
So,
Implying I
what are
don't know how to
you
speak
talking
Chinese. 我会说中文，笨蛋。
do people ever ask you why you don't speak Chinese?
Not really here. It's like people not speaking Chinese, like most of the population in America. I mean, sometimes people ask like, "Hey, do you know Chinese?" I'm like, "Oh, I know a little bit. I can speak a conversation. 我会说中文，你会说吗? Or something like that.
Okay.
你好，你怎么样? You speak to my mom in English.
I try and speak to her in Chinese because I can understand her in Chinese better.
Just
Like,
for the record,
you say,
she's giving me crap for speaking not Chinese. She speaks to my mom in English. And my mom is Chinese.
I don't speak to your mom in English. She spoke to me in English.
Yeah, and then you spoke back in English.
Because I feel she's comfortable with that.
She is comfortable with that.
Speak
And
to
that's part of
someone-
the reason why I don't speak a lot of Chinese. It's because in my house,
Your mom speaks to you in English.
we all speak in English.
But your brother speaks Chinese.
My older tries, but it used to be when we were kids, in like high school, middle school, it was like half-half. That's like a lot of the ABC
Right.
thing. Is that you do half-half. Like sometimes you speak Chinese in front of your parents, English in front of your siblings, or like it mixes. But
Oh,
now
yeah, I see.
after like around high school, we all just started speaking English. My mom speaks Chinese to my dad. Anyone that is Chinese, she speaks to in Chinese. Obviously, she's more comfortable with it. But when it comes to the family, we all just speak English.
Really?
Yeah.
Your
Second.
parents are first generation Americans.
Yes.
Which are
they are
people
first generation immigrant Americans,
immigrated to the States.
and they got citizenship. Yes.
And then you're second generation because that was from
I was
your
born
parents.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
I identify myself as American. I don't really identify myself as Chinese as much.
Could you explain the year that you went back to China in, 5th grade?
It's hard, difficult. I don't know if you remember me as a kid, because you weren't that close to me when we were little. But
No, not really. He was classmates with Raymond in elementary school, so we went to the same elementary school. You started 2 grades after me.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you were 2 years
you
younger
were
than
hanging
me.
out with Lauren. She
With
says hi, by the
Lauren.
way.
Oh, hi, Lauren.
But like, I was a really stubborn kid. I refused to speak Chinese when I was there. Like
Where?
they try
Oh,
in
in
China,
China?
yeah.
Oh.
Like they would try to get me to crack. I wouldn't say anything. I would only speak in English just to spite them.
Were you scared?
Huh? A little part of me was.
Okay.
But also I was just like, who are these people to tell me what to do? Like, sorry. You start from like 7 a.m. You have like one break in the middle, and then you
Like lunch break?
I remember it ending at 5. That's too much for like a 10-year-old. The teachers would rotate into the classroom.
So like different subjects would have different teachers, but you would be in the same classroom.
Yeah, so that was really annoying because I did not like that way of teaching.
But you guys had PE class, right?
It's not like they taught us anything. They were just
What did you guys do?
They put us in a field and they were like, you get 1 hour.
Really?
Yeah. I remember vividly. One day I was so bored, I just laid down in the middle of the track. There's a track and field. I just laid down, and everyone, because I was the new kid, everyone just like went up and looked at me down, and they were like, "Is he okay?" So, yeah, and no one could like get to me. No one could like figure anything out because no one. This
it's
is like
hard for kids to understand that.
no, but even worse than that. This is like China in 2008.
Okay.
So no one spoke English. The teachers didn't speak English. Our teachers.
They don't teach English? I mean, they
Well,
probably
now they do.
but...
Now they do.
Okay.
Well, they always did, but like, this is like a middle of nowhere town. Plus, I didn't speak any Chinese, at least to people around me.
But you understood a little bit. Right?
I understood. No, I understood what they were saying.
Okay.
A lot of the time, like they would speak to me, I'd hear it. I'd just pretend not to understand. Because I got really annoyed.
Maybe that's why they didn't like you.
Maybe. When you're like 10 years old, you move to a new place.
Yeah, like it's hard.
Let
Even
alone,
for 10 years old, they say like, oh, you should let your kids go to a foreign country when they're young, but kids still feel that,
Yeah. Also, like, visiting a foreign country, because I've visited China many times before this.
Okay.
But this was like trying to live a life there and like make friends.
Yeah, like one thing is vacation, and then one thing is actually living there, which is totally different. Do you think if you spent more time there, you would have gotten used to it?
I don't know. I move by the beat of my own drum, And I still think back at that sometimes. I'm like, wow.
How did you get by?
I don't know.
For celebrities like, the Shang-Chi movie, Simon Liu, Jimmy O, yeah. But he was in Crazy Rich Asians. I've seen their interviews, and then they do get into a little bit of the background, and they say how their parents were objective against them being in the artistic field. I guess you're another example of being raised in an Asian family but also doing the creative field.
That's you.
I mean, I'm half. I guess my grandparents were more like, you should study, and they forced me to study a lot. And then I realized that I can't do stuff like that because it's impossible to just sit down and read all day for me personally.
I mean, same.
So yeah, like for high school I was really active into dancing and stuff, and right now I'm really active on the videography and everything.
Also going back to when I was in China, because I used to go like every other summer, 6 weeks to 2 months. Since I was like so bored all the time, this is like the 2010s. There's like a lot of marketplaces you can buy like electronic pieces and stuff like that.
So you put together your own stuff?
Yeah, I put together my own stuff. I fix my own stuff. I used to fix phones, and I got really into like the technical aspect of cinematography and videography and photography.
Were your parents ever objective against it?
I mean, a little bit. They were like, oh, you can make money off of this. He wasn't really supportive of it. I think he just bought it so I would shut up about complaining about being in China.
对
Asian hate
有什么感觉？
有什么感觉?
Yeah.
I've been profiled for being Asian before, especially in the pandemic. I've gotten things yelled at me, even when I was traveling around the U.S. Last year during lockdowns.
He did a road trip around all of America.
Yeah, there's a few times where I had interactions with people that weren't very positive because they mentioned my race. They say like Kung Flu or like. Mostly people at bars that are just drunk.
That's too bad.
And it's like whatever.
I mean, yeah,
I took it fine. They weren't terrible people. It's just like, when you're in public like that and there's stuff going on, it's in people's minds and they feel the need to like bring it out on you just because of the way you look. But I mean, never anything physical. People didn't like beat me up. I mean, I don't know if anyone would try.
You would probably beat me up.
For me specifically, the whole Asian hate thing is like, it's also just like don't box Asian people into like the box that society puts for us. Like you said before, there's a lot of like examples of you and me.
Yeah.
You and me.
What?
I did you and me, but not all of us are just mindless slaves that don't know how to do math.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But I think sometimes that gets forgotten. You gotta support each other beyond just supporting ourselves, because people forget that we're like human too. Just like other people.
Like
we just have the same emotions. I forget about my Asian identity a lot because I hang around.
I forget about your Asian identity.
Yeah,
a lot.
She does, and she looks at me. But but like my own Asian American experience has been kind of it's different than the typical one.
Sometimes you grow up in two different places and then you don't necessarily have to only choose one side.
Yeah.
Which is so...
I think that's more interesting than my thing. I think like your whole biracial thing is pretty cool.
Oh, really?
I like learning about that and how that experience, because you grew up in Taiwan.
Was there anything else you would like to address to the audience?
Leave a like and comment. Let me know if you want to see me do stuff that isn't talking.
You know which one I'm talking about. Your hairstyle.
Oh, David Dobrik.
Yeah.
Guys. That's my David Dobrik.
Is that what he does?
Yeah. Oh my god. Guys, you won't believe what I just did.
And then they'd be like falling in the pool or something.
Yeah. Or like something like gets lit on fire or some shit like that. Oh, look at me. I'm Christina. I'm taking cool shots underneath the highway. Oh, I bet I'm gonna do a little fade when I go under the bridge. Like a little transition. Like,
I already did that once, okay?